Lena Martinez's husband, Dr. Daniel Martinez, a brilliant biochemist, died in a sudden house fire in the middle of a breakthrough research project. The fire was ruled accidental, caused by faulty wiring in his home office. But Lena knew better. Daniel was obsessive about safety. Nothing was ever left unplugged. Every cord was labeled, every outlet checked. Worse, the only item missing from the scene, his work laptop. His phone, the one he was never without, couldn't be found either. Lena assumed it had burned in the fire. She requested a deeper investigation, but the authorities, pressured by a large pharmaceutical partner, closed the case quietly. 1 year later, on the exact anniversary of Daniel's death, Lena was awakened at 12 a.m. by an old, familiar sound. The ringtone Daniel had customized just for her. It was his phone. The same phone she personally placed in the casket before his burial. The one that supposedly burned in the fire or was buried with him. It rang 5 times and stopped. When she checked her own call log in disbelief, she saw it. Incoming call, Daniel, 12 a.m. And that's when it started. Every night, at exactly 12 a.m., the phone would ring. First, Lena thought it had to be a cruel prank. Maybe someone had cloned his number. But each time she tried calling it back, it would ring once, and then send a corrupted audio file to her inbox. When decrypted, the file played distorted recordings, sometimes of Daniel's voice, sometimes static. But once, a clear message came through. Check the patient files. They lied. Don't trust Mark. Lena, now terrified but determined, turned to Mark Bellamy, Daniel's former research partner. Mark had been her only friend since Daniel died, always offering support, always showing up when she needed help. He even helped her financially when Daniel's accounts were frozen. She told Mark everything, the calls, the messages, the audio files. He seemed alarmed and suggested she see a therapist. But something was off. Why did Mark seem more concerned about where the calls were coming from than what they meant? Lena began investigating on her own. She broke into Daniel's old office at the company's research lab. The room had been scrubbed, files gone, hard drives replaced. But tucked behind a wall panel, she found a flash drive marked SOD. Inside were documents and recordings detailing something far more sinister than she imagined. Daniel had discovered that the company was testing a new drug on terminal patients without full disclosure, promising hope but masking severe side effects. Worse, test subjects in underdeveloped countries were dying, and the company had manipulated the data to protect themselves. Mark, his best friend, was the one who had signed off on the approvals. And Daniel? He was about to blow the whistle. He recorded a video the night he died. If this message is found, I didn't make it. I didn't burn. They burned the truth. And I need you, Lena, to finish what I started. Suddenly, Lena realized Mark had access to the lab. Mark had been tracking her movements. Mark had suggested she bury Daniel's phone in the first place. Lena set a trap. She pretended she discovered more files, then staged a phone call in front of Mark saying she was meeting a reporter. She left home and watched from a distance. An hour later, someone broke into her apartment. Not to steal, but to delete. It was Mark. She called the police and showed them the surveillance, the flash drive, and Daniel's final messages. They arrested Mark and reopened Daniel's case. The pharmaceutical company's executives began scrambling. The scandal hit national news. The following week, Lena stood in front of her husband's grave with a press badge clipped to her coat. She'd written a full expose titled, "Dead Men Still Speak, the Scientist Who Called from the Grave." As she placed roses on his grave, her phone rang. It was the same number, Daniel's, but this time, instead of fear, she smiled and answered, "Hey, babe, we did it."